Good morning, everyone, and welcome to day 4 and day 5 of the Taupe Hollow Research at the 50% area bonus. I have kept the main session into yesterday, and I have the main session into today on hold. So we're going to jump right into the main session for day 4, and then let's see what is happening with this one. I haven't been able to do some nap sessions, so it's not impossible that it's going to end up a dozing or a slumbering session. This looks like dozing based on my patterns personally. It's a slumbering because of that long dip at the end. Nice. Alright, it's been a while since I had some slumbering sessions at all, but it was just 1% different, so it was almost a balanced sleep at this point. And slumbering at Taupe Hollow means a chance to encounter Onix, and I do believe Steelix. Let's have a look. Yeah, stealing is also slumbering, so we'll have to see. What's interesting with the Onix hunt is Onix and Steelix are both viable, each in their own areas. I do suspect that we will be getting a Steel area sometime in the future. And so Onix is good at Taupe Hollow, and Steelix then some other place. So we got Slumbering, got a Geodude. Why not a Cyndaquil from my incense? Yes, I keep getting confused by myself here, but that is from the incense. Then we have a Cleffa. Golem, never seen that one before. Togepi, Cubone, and another Geodude. Alright, that's pretty cool. I'll take all the new sleep styles I can get because I am still on the way towards 340 sleep styles. I don't think I've made it yet. I'll have to check that in this video. And yeah. Oh. Apologies. Okay, so we're gonna skip to the hunt here, and I do have a good camp ticket this week, so hopefully there should be at least one hungry. If it is the Cyndaquil, that would be nice. Otherwise, I'll have to figure out what to do with my premium biscuit, which I actually don't have in this session now that I think about it, because this was the ante yesterday, and I did a nap session 2 days ago. The Golem is hungry. You know what? I'm not even gonna feed it anything. You can see the number of bars here is ridiculous. And Golem is an ingredient specialist, and so you would prefer to catch it at base. So that would be Geodude. And the reason for that is every time it evolves, it gains an additional 5 inventory that it won't get otherwise. And so I am going to see if I can get my hands on this Cyndaquil. Still don't have a good Typhlosion, unfortunately. And so with the news that there will be around 10 Entei Incense that you can get your hands on depending on how many mains you get and all that during the Entei Research event, then I have way many Fire Incense saved up. So it's all full. That's unfortunate. I was hoping that it wouldn't get full, but that's just how the game is like sometimes. And so I will finish. Maybe I should have used 2 Great Biscuits, but it's a big spend. So I'll put the Cyndaquil candy for the friend list, and then before I connect to my device, I'm going to put up another Cyndaquil incense, so hopefully I'll get to catch it. Because Cyndaquil is an important Pokemon for the event, it was probably the better bet to give it 2 Great Biscuits, but it all depends. I should not have popped the Altaria, because now that I am connecting to my other device, or just the device in general, it is going to be healing my Pokemon, and that was the same thing I did yesterday, so I'm just not going to do anything. I'm hopping right into the session now to not make any more mistakes. And then I can bring up the Typhlosion in the widget, and hopefully we have at least one Cyndaquil to review. I'm suspecting this is going to be a slumbering session too, based on the pattern on the other session, because this has way more slumbering. I just let the device rest because I already knew I had a problem with this session because I couldn't really connect the device anyway. until I could sit down and record the video. And so we have a slumbering session. Maybe there's an Onix in this one. We'll have to see. If the golem appears at whatever the level was on this other session, then I don't think it's likely. Onix is pretty rare. I haven't done a deep dive on the drowsy power threshold for it, but what? Another shiny. I just got a shiny the other day, which was a shiny Eevee. And the shiny Marowak is a berry specialist, which means if it has decent stats, I'll use it. I don't think it's going to be likely for me to get my hands on the berry finding. If it is berry finding in any of the 4 first slots, I'll take it, even with a speed down nature. Even if it has double ingredient finding. That's crazy. Top belly, shiny Marowak. What is my shiny luck though? That's not back to back, but it's almost. At least in terms of the videos, it's back to back. Alright, got the Cyndaquil from the incense, got a Togepi, a Cubone, why not, Riolu, another why not, Igglybuff, another Marowak, and Graveler. That's crazy. I'll take it. Another shine. Maybe it's a useful one. I don't think I have a single Pokemon that is shiny, that is usable. And at this point, I have more than 20. I think this is my 23rd shiny. So maybe luck strikes. We'll have to see. That's going to be one cool thumbnail though. Alright, we studied all the Pokemon. And I'm going to first claim this Cyndaquil, because that is what I'm the most interested in. Of course that's going to be hungry. The Wynot is hungry. The Riolu is hungry. Not the Cyndaquil, but it is the Cyndaquil that I want this week. And I haven't seen no signs of the Vulpix, so maybe in the nap session tomorrow. Yeah, I should definitely do a nap session tomorrow and use a lot of incenses. I should probably do a nap session today too and carry it into tomorrow, because then I can use one Cyndaquil incense again today, and then I have the 2 Vulpix incense tomorrow, and maybe I can find a Vulpix that works for the event. We'll just have to see. So the shiny Pokemon are always a mega hit, which makes it so that you can just use a single Pokebiscuit and claim it. I've caught quite a few Marowak in the past, as you can see. This one's going to be friendship level 5. The reason is they do like to show up hungry, and they have 12 bars. So if you are a premium player, then you can just feed it 1 premium and you are good. I am curious about the Lucario long term, particularly if somehow Mega Evolution is a thing in the game. Then, you know, there could be a change of pace for the Lucario, as it is the only Dream Shard Pokemon currently that does Mega Evolve in the main series games. Okay, where to spend this premium biscuit? I have been on the hunt for a Cubone for so long. I can't seem to find it. And I don't need a Wigglytuff, I don't need a Graveler. I don't want to work on a Marowak because they do like to show up hungry every now and then this premium is totally wasted. So, believe it or not, I think it's not the why not. It's never the why not. We don't like the why not here on the channel. We ignore it. And we go for the Cubone instead, because I can get some candies, if anything, and maybe I'll find that berry finding, which is what I've been on the hunt for. I'm very strict when it comes to the berry specialist, and so I've got 3 Pokemon to review here. It is the shiny Marowak, got the Cyndaquil, and a Cubone. So with that, we are going to end the session. I'm not going to feed the troll, why not? I don't want it. There's just no future for it because of Gardevoir. Like, if you want a healer that has berry finding, that is a skill specialist, then why not just go for Gardevoir? Okay, you know what? I don't think the Marowak candy is it overall. Cyndaquil for sure, due to anti-research. So I'm gonna send the better candy here to the friend list. as always. I'm one of those players that get triggered by the shiny Sableye pictures and the shiny Wobbuffets. Don't send them. The only person that can do that as an exception is Shanji, because I know that he likes Wobbuffet like genuinely, and it's not just, oh well, look at what I found. So, okay. We got the Cynical here with a rash nature. That is awful. It is ingredients up, energy recovery down, and you don't want the ingredients up on the Typhlosion because it's already starting at 20%. So you like cut your berry production, which is the main thing. So we already know this Cyndaquil is not it. Unless it somehow is berry finding, helping bonus, helping speed. Then I can accept it, because then at the very least you can just let it do sneaky snacking and not collect ingredients anyway. So we have the Fiery Herb. It's not berry finding in the first slot, but maybe helping bonus. Sleep EXP bonus, skill trigger, helping speed, inventory. Yeah, this is just not cutting it. Oh, I thought it was energy recovery down, but it's main skill chance down, and then it's gentle nature, I think. Mild, it is. Mild has the energy recovery down. I'm trying to remember these. I haven't really sat down and studied them. So, got Sleepy XP bonus, skill trigger, helping speed. It doesn't cut it for a Typhlosion. Overall, Typhlosion is a super important Pokemon, particularly now that Entei combo is a thing. There's the shiny Marowak. Let's see the nature. It's a jolly nature. That means EXP gains up, and I don't remember the stat that is down. That could be speed down. That seems likely. Big oof. Okay, got double ginger and cacao in the middle there. And it's not berry finding in the first slot. Let's see it, everyone. Skill trigger, skill level up, ingredient finding, helping speed. Oh, it's ingredient finding down. That's pretty good actually for a berry specialist. Unfortunately, it does not have the berry finding. It does not have speed until level 75, and so this is a just clog in the drain, unfortunately, for a shiny. And then we have a Riolu here at the very end. Got a careful nature. That's pretty good for the main skill specialist. Got double potato. I'll take it. That's a pretty good ingredient list. Got helping speed, ingredient finder, sleepy XP bonus, skill trigger at level 100. So if you somehow can just like get this a level 100, then you have the skill up nature, you have the skill trigger S. But overall, it's not one to keep around. I think I'll just bin this one pretty much straight away because the skill trigger is so late, and overall, it's not what you want in a Riolu. Oh, I got a Cubone too. I forgot. Quirky nature. Let's bring back the Marowak here. So, I don't remember the quirky nature. I don't think that's neutral, but could be. There's one of those that I tend to get confused. So, double cacao. That's pretty decent on a Cubone. Cubone somehow has or Marowak rather, has a very high drop rate of these cacaos. Like, it's absurd actually, the value of these cacaos. So if you somehow can score the double cacao despite it being a berry specialist, that is preferred in my opinion. And then is it going to be helping bonus or bear finding? Dream shard bonus. Not what we want. That's one of those troll skills. So skill trigger, ingredient finder, double ingredient finder, and it is neutral indeed. Okay. Yeah, that's not going to cut it. So the hunt continues both after the shiny and after the Cubone. And that's just how this game plays. I have fallen a little bit behind the past day or so in terms of the energy on my Pokemon, so I haven't really been able to get all that much drowsy. And I'm also not doing too hot on the preparation for the Entei research, unfortunately. We'll peek into my bag and look. I'm currently running double Altaria for the helping bonus. Both of these have helping bonus. And I am trying to collect as many large leaks as possible. I have been running Flareon for a good while, and I have maxed out the potential cooking pot for or from the main skills. So that is currently sitting at 200, and I'm not going to cook until Monday lunch. I am thinking to run triple the Dene and a helping bonus Pokemon on Monday, and then see if I can crit a late lunch at like 5 p.m. And if I can somehow do that, then that's going to be a huge boost for the first day. The only thing I'm wondering a little bit about though is if I just don't try to crit it and put on a full-on fire team, if that's going to be stronger in terms of the berry value for those 10 hours or so. But we'll just have to see. I think overall, if I can crit that first meal, that would be huge just because of the size of that cooking pot and everything. So I still have a little bit of time to decide on that, thankfully. So, got a achievement, and there was something, yeah. Oh, actually, sleep styles, 349. I'm way past the next goal, potentially, if that's also sitting at 340. Typically, they like to set the next target around 50 sleep styles, and then every other goal it seems to be a new area. So maybe they are changing things up now into the next one, but if not, then I should already have unlocked that next area, which is pretty exciting. So I wanted to pop into my team a little bit too and just highlight some of these Pokemon and also showcase the team that I'm currently sitting on for the Fire Week. It is not particularly strong, unfortunately, but it's one of those things where you just have to work on it over time. Gonna use the Sylveon quite a bit. It's a very good healer. I am hoping that in the future I can bring this up to level 100, and I think it's likely that I won't go for the Gardevoir for a long time and just keep dumping seeds into this one. It's just kind of what you want in a skill specialist. It's got both the skill triggers, it's got both the helping speeds, and it's got the skill up nature. It's a Sylveon, and the skill level up M is nice too, because I think potentially long term they will cap the main skill level at 10. That seems natural based on just the progression here, and that's going to be interesting. So at that point, it's going to be extremely hard for me to outdo this Sylveon with the Gardevoir, unless somehow there is some mega evolution mechanic, because then obviously Gardevoir currently is the only energy for everyone Pokemon that can mega evolve, but that is like wild speculation. Potentially it's going to be tied to the sleep time. Like they have announced a sleeping time mechanic like long ago, and we're still waiting. So maybe there's some like 1 year anniversary, like huge update that could make sense. But yeah, let's not get too wild here with those speculations. Oh, apparently I crossed level 30, so I will be starting to get beans from the Altaria. I was thinking maybe I should just like keep it at level 28 for a while, 29. But overall, the berry finding helping bonus is so strong here with ingredient finding down nature to where I don't care too much about it. We can bring up the Altaria here in the widget, and we can see that the ing rate of 25% is massive. So the fact that this nature is ingredient finding down is huge, especially if you do want to collect that skill. And in my case, I really do like the Charge Energy S. Especially on the Altaria, you can see the skill trigger and the skill up chance is nice too, because the nature will boost this one by 20%, so that's pretty huge. And then you have another 18% here, so like roughly 33% is a good multiplier here to just make the maths easy. So the actual skill rate is around 8%, and with the helping bonus, even though it's pretty slow, this Altaria is going to be properly healed throughout the day, no matter what. And that's kind of what we're seeing here too. It's at 100%. And then this Altaria was actually caught as an Altaria, and it has a neutral nature. And overall, it is not as strong as this other Altaria. So probably I will just end up dumping all the resources into this single Altaria. But this is by no means bad. Like, obviously, if you just find the berry finding in one of those two first slots so you can unlock it early, and then have some sort of speed, then for the most part, that is the threshold that I set for the berry finders, unless they are super important, like the Typhlosion. And in this case, it's got Bear Finding and Helping bonus, and those are some nice stacking sub skills. And some of you guys have been surprised in the comments by these finds, and yeah, pretty satisfied with it. Altaria, by the way, is also a Pokemon that can potentially Mega Evolve if somehow that makes it into the game. That could be interesting. So we'll just have to see what the future brings. Okay, here we have the Dugtrio and the Ditto, and this has been my main strategy and the main preparation this week. I have leeks on the Dugtrio. Obviously, leeks is a rare ingredient, so at this point in time, there's no ingredient specialist that has that in the first spot, so there's no mono leek alternative. And for the Ditto, the mixed set is surprisingly the best. And so the mixed set being a likely outcome with that 1 in 6 chance. And yeah, just huge fan of this Ditto in particular, and I can't wait to bring this up to level 75. It's going to be a beast at level 75. And if I somehow have to spend another 2 subskill seeds, I think maybe just 1. Yeah, so it's possibly going to consume 2 more subskill seeds. I think I've only spent 1 so far. I don't remember. I'll have to go back and see if there's any video of me early on with this Ditto, but yeah. Once I get that ingredient finder S into ingredient finding M, it's game over because of that ingredient finding up nature and the berry finding and inventory. So I am super excited for those Slowpoke tails at 60. And it is coming up. Like, I'm starting to collect the candies to get it up there. The EXP down really, really hurts. But overall, it's not a Ditto to pass on. And somehow I scored this god tier of a Dugtrio recently in one of my videos, and it's got all the ingredient finders, the nature, the double sub skills, and then it has the speed coming up at level 50. So super interested in getting this up to level 50. It was caught as a Dugtrio, so I'm not particularly rushed about the level 75 here. So for the most part, I will camp this Dugtrio just at level 60. That's it, and then I'll just have that long grind to level 100 potentially in one go, because before level 100 there is nothing really happening for this Dugtrio after level 60, because you get some marginal higher berry values, but it's an ingredient specialist that is doing ingredients very well. And if we do pop up the Dugtrio, we can see that it starts at 19% on that ingredient rate, and the fact that I have all 3 ingredient ups here is going to be huge. So just need to unlock that second ingredient drop, and it's going to be massive. So super stoked about it. And so my preparation is just getting as many leaks as possible, so I run the Ditto and the Dugtrio and the double helping bonus with the healer, and that's the best I can do. And yeah, you can see I'm getting close to the 250 leaks. That is my target. If I somehow can manage to get to 300, that's going to be huge, because then I can essentially cook the spicy leek curry, which is what I'm going for. It's not the best dish, but overall it's what I can cook with what I got. And you can also see that my ingredient bag is maxed out. I have a decent chunk of ingredient tickets too, so it's going to be nice running that Flareon next week and the week after, and I can just ingredient ticket like mad if my Charizard doesn't just cover the bill completely. And yeah, because I am full here, I am throwing out the milks and the apples and just averaging up the ingredient value in my bag. And it's going to be super interesting. I feel like a lot of you guys, and also when I watch Brovinnie, and like just the community seems to be a little bit unsure of the Entei event. Like, it doesn't seem like anyone has a killer team that's just ready to blast this event. And there are a lot of like final preparations and choices to be made, and I find that quite interesting. So it's going to be super interesting these 2 next weeks with the content and hearing how it's going for you guys. It's going to be interesting to see if we can find any wild Entei. Probably not, just because the number of Entei incense is so high, that you can probably encounter an Entei more or less every day if you want to. And that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to clean the shop, get an incense just day one and a bunch of biscuits, and just see if I can get the Entei the first day. Probably will consider using the Master Biscuit, and then after that just pace out the incense so that I use them as late in the week as possible. So for that first week, it's going to be on the day one, and then probably the last 4 days, and then in week 2 I do the last 5 days, and then that's 10 incense in total. And for the most part, I don't know if I care too much about like maxing out the biscuits and everything. I just want to encounter as many Entei as possible. Ooh, it would have to be 4 because I'm going to carry 1 Entei incense into the future, just because that makes sense. And yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see how they have adjusted the event overall and learned from the Raikou research. And then I'm super interested in seeing what they learned from the Entei research compared to the Raikou, bringing that into the Suicune and the final like first set of legendary events. So I'm gonna put a cynical incense on here, and then I will remember to do a nap session later today and bring it into tomorrow. And then in tomorrow's video, we will have a nap session, and then the long term, or not long term, but the long session. And then into the Monday, we'll have a nap and a long. And so hopefully I'll find at least a Cyndaquil or a Vulpix that works. And that brings us to where my team is at for the Entei research. I'm hoping that that first Entei can kind of work, and just I can have it on the team as a good fire type. Because this is what I got. I have a level 30 Charizard, a Berry Finding Quilava that's not of high enough value to where I want to evolve it into Typhlosion, because then potentially in the future I can run Typhlosion and Quilava with that Entei combo. And I'm not really set on the Growlithe yet. We'll just have to see what the ingredients are on the Entei. If Entei somehow is Fiery Herb, that's going to be huge. Then I don't need this Growlithe at all in any way, shape, or form. If I evolve it into the Arcanine and use it day or week 2, then this is going to be level 6 extra helpful. So that's pretty huge. And aside from that, it's like, it's a decent Arcanine, don't get me wrong. It's just there are other Pokemon that I'd rather use. So unfortunately, it doesn't have any skill triggers. Arcanine has a decent skill rate, but given that it's a skill specialist and the skills is what you're looking for, I would have liked to see some skill triggers somewhere. Obviously, I can sub-skill seed the skill level up so that I don't have to use main skill seeds. And with the main skill chance up nature and the berry finding, overall it's a decent find, but by no means a very confident choice of Pokemon. So what I'm thinking is if I somehow can find a Vulpix or Typhlosion either tomorrow or into the Monday, that would be great. And then if I find them throughout the first week, that would be great also, so that I can really go hard on that second week. Based on how they have structured the event, the first week becomes a prep week for the second week. I like that personally, but yeah. And then I have the Flareon, and so if I have a Typhlosion and a Ninetales, then I can switch out the Growlithe, just not use it at all. And then I can take the Flareon on and off the team as needed. It's really strong. It's got main skill chance up nature, skill trigger M, and that level 6 main skill. And so depending on how well the Charizard is going to do with the ingredients and all the boosts for the event, then I may have to run this Flareon all the time and just cook a lot of big dishes. And if not, then it's going to be a good tag team. So we'll just have to see what happens with this event. Super excited for it, and I know a lot of you guys are too. And it's going to be 2 good weeks. So hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for watching. You can leave a like if you did. There we go. I got really good at that.